What's up guys, I'm Kadena with Crypto Now or Never and welcome back to another market update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, now as you guys probably know, there has been a lot of crazy macro news going on. So Trump Media's SEC registration for its Bitcoin treasury is officially effective. And then 17 hours ago, Fidelity officially files for its spot Solana ETF. But right now, probably more importantly, there's a lot going on with the war. And as you guys know, the war caused a massive crypto liquidation. This post right here on June 12th, 335 million was liquidated from the crypto market in the past 60 minutes. And if you look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum chart, you can see that they have just been bleeding over the last few days. And when you look at Ethereum specifically, you can see that we are right back in this bull flag. And this is what's fascinating. It's like the breakout never even happened. But it's also the exact same when we saw the Elon Musk Donald Trump drama. We saw price action actually fall out of this bull flag and then it broke right back into the pattern. And then we saw price action break out of the bull flag and then now we have fallen right back into the pattern. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, Ethereum is still in a massive bull flag on the daily time frame. I'm essentially treating it as if this breakout never even happened. Now, what I do want you guys to understand is that next week could be pretty volatile as we have the next FOMC meeting. If we get rate cuts, if we don't get rate cuts, that could have a heavy impact on the market. So do understand that as well. But I've got to be honest with you guys, when we look at the crypto market as a whole, it is actually holding up a lot better than you might think. I understand we have been bleeding over the last several days, but with a war going on, you would think that we might be crashing even harder. Now, obviously, that's interesting because the fundamentals of Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptos would suggest that we should pump during times of uncertainty. However, in the past, we haven't really seen that be the case. And similar to the past, we have been dumping a little bit. But if you look at Bitcoin dominance right now, it is starting to climb again. It's at 63.8%. When we saw Ethereum have the initial breakout and a lot of altcoins started to follow it, Bitcoin dominance dropped to like 61.6%. So the fact that it's climbing again tells you that altcoins are bleeding against it. But again, this is where it also comes down to Ethereum being in the bull flag. If we see Ethereum actually break out of this bull flag, then that will be very good for the entire altcoin market. And again, I know initially I said that it looks like we had the breakout. However, then the war happened. You have to just readjust, and basically we're now right back in this bull flag. Now, I do also want to take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is actually very interesting right now. When you look at the daily time frame, there's a chance that we come back down and retest the 50-day yet again. We already retested it once and we actually had a very nice bounce off of this level. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we do retest it again and potentially put in tweezer bottoms. If we put in tweezer bottoms, that would be a very good sign that we might have reached a bottom. Where things are interesting right now is actually the 3-day time frame. The 3-day actually looks pretty good. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if we do end up coming down and retesting the 21-day yet again. However, I'd like to see that the stochastics are already oversold at this point. This tells me that if we come down here and retest the 21-day, the stochastics would have juice to absolutely bounce off of that level. Now, when we look at the weekly time frame, this is where things are a little bit more cloudy. So if you look at the stochastics and the RSI, they're both getting a little bit overbought. However, it does look like they might be starting to reset. From a macro standpoint, I wouldn't be shocked if Bitcoin does start to flag out and we also come down here and retest the 21 weekly moving average. I know I keep pointing out these moving averages, but oftentimes we do bounce off of them as support. Now, if a time frame like the 3-day were to bounce first, then obviously we probably wouldn't retest this level. What I do like about the weekly is the M2 global liquidity, and I've been pointing this out all the time. And that's because M2 global liquidity is still breaking out. So even if we do pull back in the short term, I still love the long-term look for Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin has always done extremely well when M2 global liquidity has been breaking out. And you can backtest that through Bitcoin's history. It usually front runs breakouts as well. And then more importantly, the time frame that I actually really like on Bitcoin is the monthly. We had 2 very strong candle closes in a row, and the second most recent close was actually the highest close that we have ever had. So it wouldn't be that surprising to me at all if we did continue to pump. But you have to understand this is the monthly time frame. It takes a lot longer to play out than the weekly and the daily and other smaller time frames. So just because I'm saying the monthly looks good, it doesn't mean I'm saying all of the other time frames look good. But that's about it for the update today. Bitcoin still looks solid and Ethereum is right back in the bull flag. It is very important that you also keep your eyes on June 18th. The FOMC meeting could have a major impact on the crypto market. But if you guys are interested in market updates and getting into projects super early, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord. We're grinding in here every single day. And we've been making huge gains this entire bull run. If you just look at the crypto gain section, we're printing pretty much every single day. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to see you guys in here. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about the market. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.